Q-word, physiognomy of the Nazis. Me, I have the Jew's nose. Tülay Koçer. Let's take Tülay Koçer, and Ingo Westermann. The latter case, he has no consigns. He has none. At least before his kind of changements that were being undertaken. Not very favorable if one would have asked me. Tülay Koçer speaks curiosity. Curiosity to the most effective and most ill and most, I must say, despicable. Then, early 90s, then it has to be regarded as having been totally despicable. Knowing enough of German law in order to counterbalance somehow. I mean, for what does one study anything? Okay, one wants to earn and one wants to have a degree. I failed in that. But somehow teachings must enter the brain and influence. In her case, not at all. Who would they pick for some years later undertakings in having gathered some material presentable and sellable, whereto we have entered that realm as of today, yesterday, 31st of March 2025, and namely, for example, the realm of actors, of German actors. Who would they then go on choosing in order to gain more money and go where the money was? It was sports, that was clear. It was high-paid sports that they would look out for. So Tülay Koçer, among others that I hardly knew, were gathering and were being totally interesting, sitting all summers long, afternoons long, as I was informed, in front of a TV in the Marburgian Jägerkaserne, though. Jägerkaserne. Kaserne, hunter would be two keywords. Shooting capabilities, if one wills, and allowances also. So they would then do that, watching car racings, and later on they must have entered the realm of football, which is more likely that a German or Turkish girl could be interested in, and would want to meet one or the other. She would, for other reasons than I suggested, keyword full-lippedness and teeth fronts in reference to child molestation and so forth. She would choose such a one. Why? Not because that she was informed on that connectivity, unless she had experienced it. For which one has to be really very awfully sorry, but also I have had my problems there, no one was interested in. So the Jew's nose, my brother's push into my back, likely he, not my father, not my mother, and thereupon the question, was it an accident, was he so influenced by other people that he foreseeably would kind of freak out or stretch his hand out, or likely though attempt of murder. So she would go and choose where Friederike Lüthe had sprung in, and would inform me on things. Yeah, if one is 16 and has his first boyfriend, then one stays there. One does the whole procedure through. She would indeed tell me that. Yeah, as if there was then already, one must say, a ruling that demands that. And if one steps out of the row, then nothing more would happen. My case, though, Friederike Lüthe, was different. My case was different because a huge bunch of Poles, not recognizable by means of family names, would already have been after me, kind of, and would have agreed amongst to pass me over. Yeah. So one was proficient in licking and fucking a little. The previous, likewise, doing always billiard first pushes though, and reconnectivity back to Gründels. The former, yeah, it was not too good, but we had communication-wise same level. So while you, Andreas, would present me Natascha Atlas, and maybe with a smiling photo, I have answered to that. That was not nice. Prior, some, as was common in our school and areas surrounding, try here and there, and not being on really serious grounds. That happened also a couple of times. The mother of Germa showing me her eating material, yeah, that was a little bit too much for Germa, yeah. So now we can all understand why you would have been kind of eager to see that son of yours be in close hands of mine. No, the other way around. You wanted to have grabs onto me, and my then already since long having emerged Anspruchsvermögen. That is what you wanted, and from then on things went on a parallel string of events on further until we arrive here at Gabriele Riem and Julian Riem. And the fact that since 20 years I hardly have any social contact any longer. How powerful are you? Frau Germer from Nienburg. How powerful are you? Due to the very fact that your husband was bank director and overseeing certain accounts growing by the weeks, so to speak. So Friederike Lüthe would tell me that, and both of which would inquire. They would take this very book, taken out of my household whilst I was not there. So either at a very late point of time, but I rather would assume they did it already when living in Marburg 1, and there would meet at least one of the former miners, if not both. Yeah, if not both. And you were doing a nice little contracts with each other, making yourself famous and rich, or keeping yourself in the darks until time was ready. So, Oliver Herzog would appear. He was likely one of those joining you, or maybe he did it on his own with his green mother. This would be a second version. But maybe even you kind of encountered each other and took notice of each other, and in that version that would make you for a longer period of time two-sided parties. Also an option, possibility, an option, a version. You would then get. I had more books. I had all those books that my brother already had. And then you would proceed further and check each and every out. You would really go and check each and every out. That was a little bit more interesting than others, likelier for me to having been taken into considerations. You would have arrived at politics in Nienburg. Schlotmann, he is endowed with indeed dentist firm. close by Bremen. His friend, very good looking, fair blonde, Gero Eden, also very interesting because of the family name Eden. Yeah, it promises grand freedom, it promises Hamburg, it promises many things. Of course you would not pass over a Thomas Rose, and then you soon would indeed enter the realm of football. You would recognize, as I did, this halfway slight similarity one to the other. Then you would long have recognized my brother. Sometimes I was citing him or telling anything, not very often, but a few times. And then you would also check that one out and recognize the differences between the two of us. And if you then already, presumably, and of course for certain, was mean enough to do me no favor if things would in any way go to my benefits, then for certain you took care of that I would not land at right places. So for that reason you would choose and you would also be able to convince, because that one is very good, as one knows. You would choose this goalkeeper, who is his name? Manuel Neuer, and that already at a point of time. I don't know if this complies with his career, but you would a little bit too excitedly call the ugly-looking colleague of ours, the one that is now statutory prosecutor, if you forgive me. But that example with the gymnastic math, oh yes, now we are seeing here something in MA4, Hörflet though, that also has to be receive an answer. Edu, Manu, it somehow maybe there's a similarity. So you would go to those. You would go to those and then you would sell me off. You would make my life unlivable because you were showing everything. And then the necessity to blur my name, you would take yours in order to redirect convincingly and arguably then the money that grew on your accounts. You would blur my existence to the completest whilst offering it to the world. You are little sluts, get your fucks from elsewhere and get some fucks by me. If astounded or if laughing, because thinking and knowing things are so far proceeded with, she does not have indeed a chance. I have tried my best, and people elsewhere will recognize me for that. So, yeah, you are all cases for Schamheim. Friederike Bode Lüte, regardless of who you drag onto your sides, I don't care. Tülay Koçer, yeah, not to talk about. Yeah, it is taking that Emel Erdudo example, employing her identity, dragging her in also because all of a sudden she has a house in Ferdinand Aller, inheritance-wise, unlikely, really unlikely. This has not been nice. This indeed has not been nice, and this is how you proceed. You attempt murder. You insult in other ways than I know. Yeah, I'm justified. Not yet excused. There's no need to provide me with a new cover. I have that one. I think so. And tomorrow I have to receive €1,000. Don't forget that. Yesterday, however, already, as usual, you insult, you in danger, you in danger, you are lowest level, you are lowest level. And if people are now taught, well, there was a woman that once in her life said Abschaum, once in her life said this one is a Arbeiter, once in her life stated how things were, and repeated in a Endlosschleife, this adds. And then taking care of me resembling, of me playing, of me being regarded as that woman, my mother, adds also. It contributed to seclude me from German social life. You have fucked up my life, you stole me 20 years, you cut off chances that I on normal terms would have had in the male's world, other than you. You are neither very intelligent, you are neither very pretty, you are neither very funny, you are nothing. Me, I was. And as soon as the ground things are there, I can be elsewhere. I would live up again. And more so if you get fucked.